special request not to get the
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, it's that, and then it's like endless refills of iced tea.
Sweet tea.
Sweet tea, yep.
Yeah, no, they're easy. One flash of mine.
Okay, I see. Oh my God, okay, so when is that?
That's Tuesdays and Thursdays, 3:30 to 5.
Michael, what are we celebrating tonight? Could you tell us?
Tonight is the anniversary of poet Robert Burns' birth. So each year we celebrate his fervor for life and his poetry by having some Scottish dishes, which are, in this case, turnips and potatoes and haggis. He even wrote a poem called Address to the Haggis. So we're very excited about that.
Okay, so here's a question. Can we?
My definition would be intentional
Cheers. Hello.
Yeah, I used the email.
Yes, that's what he was saying. Must have happened.
Scintillating as you were driving towards?
Yes!
All right, cool.
Oh my God, it's just great.
So you know anything about?
Yes.
You know it. Yeah.
All right.
That looks like good haggis.
We will skewer it in a moment. Well done, David. Thank you.
Yep.
You better get my glasses
I
anyway.
thought they called them kilts.
Michael, maybe Sarah should read it?
Yes, Sarah's offered.
Can you please?
Dad, do you happen to recall which year it's from?
It's not, they don't have alphabetical.
No, it's entirely by year.
Okay, then look in the back.
How can you not have a book?
I also have it.
I do have a bookmark.
It's stained with the.
But
Probably just Google it, just as easy.
yes.
So there's some index and back, there's a full glossary.
So whoever can, if you Google it first, otherwise we have to look through the various bookmarks.
I have it in that PDF.
Fair fire on a sunset face, great chieftain of the prudent race. Aboon them how you take your place, the cage tripe or firm. We'll have you worthy of a grace as langs me arm. The groaning trencher there you fill, your hoordies like a distant hill. Your pin would help to mend a mill in time of need. Will throw your balls the dews distill like amber peed. His knife see rustic labour dight, and cut ye up with ready sleight. Trenching your gushing entrails bright like a honey ditch. And then, oh, what a glorious sight, warm, reeking, rich. Then horn for horn they stretch and strive, Dell take the hindmost on they drive, till all their real swelled kites belive, I bet like drums. Then old goodman, mayst like to rive, bethank it, hums. Is there that our his French ragout or oleo that would start a sow, or fricassee would make her spew with perfect scunner, looks down with sneering scornful view on such a dinner. Poor devil, see him o'er his trash, as feckless as a withered rash, his spindle shank a good whiplash, his leave a nip, throw bloody flood or fail to dash, oh how unfit. Does go on, doesn't it?
You're almost there, you're almost there.
But
You're
mark the
almost
rustic haggis fed. The trembling earth resounds his tread. Clap in his wally, neath a blade, he'll make it whistle. And legs and arms and heads will sned like taps of bristle. He powers what mankind your care, and dish them out their bill of fare. Old Scotland wants nae stinking ware that yawps and luggies But if you wish for grateful prayer, give her a haggis.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Lads and lasses.
Okay.
Is it reeking?
Reeking.
Please come and help yourself. And we can eat at the table and in the living area. And then we'll get started with the poetry in a bit.
Hi.
Are we on film or this is live?
I think it's a live.
Are you streaming?
Live streaming. Just for the vlog, yeah?
They are.
I'll send you mine.
Do you want to cut it over or do you want to
My poor father was told a secret.
Did I buy it? No. Am I curious?
It is 56.
Well, his sister was 10 years older.
For haggis consumption. More?
No, I had second.
Oh, you're good. How was it? It's pretty good, I have to admit. Yeah, it's very good. I like it.
No, I just had
And you're going back for more.
I'm not having, no, I skipped that.
Scotch and reading poetry in honor of Robert Burns, whose poem we already read, addressed to a haggis. And we may not hear from him again, but we do appreciate his inspiring a night of poetry. So here we go. Who would like to go first? Maybe that's the way to do it.
I'll go first. I picked this it feels like the right first poem for this group. So this is Charlie Baudelaire.
Chuck. I think this is by Chuck.
In French, so in English, the title of this poem is The Soul of Wine. But in French, it sounds better. L'âme du vin. I'll read it in English. All right, here we go. One night the soul of wine sang in the flask. I bring you, man, dear, disinherited from my vermilion wax and prison of glass, a song all full of light and brotherhood. I know the flaming hill where painfully and sweating under the boiling sun you bent to give me life and grow a soul in me. I am not ungrateful or malevolent. For I feel a mighty pleasure when I lave the gullet of a man worn by his labor, and his hot body in a cheerful grave, which I like better than a cold wine cellar. You hear resounding strains from Sabbath eves, and hopes that murmur in my trembling breast. Elbows on the table with rolled sleeves, glorify me and be content to rest. I'll light the eyes of your enraptured wife. Give your son strength and make his pale cheeks ruddy. And for this delicate athlete of life will be the oil that toughens the wrestler's body. I'll pour my living nectar, precious seed, to quicken in you from the internal sower, so that the poetry our loves may breed shall spring toward God like a great strange flower.
That's
Ah.
lovely.
Death of a naturalist. All year the flax stem festered in the heart of the townland. Green and heavy-headed flax had rotted there, weighted down by huge sods. Daily it sweltered in the punishing sun. Bubbles gargled delicately, blue bottles wove a strong gauze of sound around the smell. There were dragonflies, spotted butterflies, but best of all was the warm, thick slobber of frog spawn that grew like clotted water in the shade of the banks. Here, every spring, I would fill jam potfuls of the jellied specks to range on windowsills at home, on shelves at school, and wait and watch until the fattening dots burst into nimble swimming tadpoles. Miss Walls would tell us how the daddy frog was called a bullfrog, and how he croaked, and how the mammy frog laid hundreds of little eggs, and this was frog spawn. You could tell the weather by frogs too, for they were yellow in the sun and brown in rain. Then one hot day, when fields were rank with cow dung in the grass, the angry frogs invaded the flax dam. I ducked through hedges to a coarse croaking that I had not heard before. The air was thick with a bass chorus. Right down the dam, gross-bellied frogs were cocked on sods. Their loose necks pulsed like snails. Some hopped. The slap and plop were obscene threats. Some sat, poised like mud grenades, their blunt heads farting. I sickened, turned and ran. The great slime kings were gathered there for vengeance, and I knew that if I dipped my hand, the spawn would clutch it.
I don't know how much Scots you all know from the man himself, but the one word you need in this is taumand, which is I think it's like 12 years. It's a 12-year statement, which is the very last line. It's called addressed to a toothache.
Address what?
To a toothache. My curse upon your venom stang that shoots my tortured gums alang, and through my lug gies mony a twang with gnawing vengeance, tearing my nerves with bitter pang like racking engines. All down my beard slavers trickle. I throw the wee stools over the mickle, while room the fire and the giglets keckle to see me lout. And raving mad, I wish a heckle were their dupe. When fevers burn or ague freezes, rheumatics gnaw or colic squeezes, or neighbours sympathize to ease us with pitying moan. But thee, thou hell of all diseases, they mock our groan. Oh, all the numerous human duels, ill-hearst daft bergens, cutty stools, or worthy friends raked the mules, sad sight to see. The tricks of knaves, or fash of fools, thou bear'st the gree. Where'er that place be priests call hell, where all the tones of misery yell, and ranked plagues their numbers tell, in dreadful row, thou, toothache, surely bear'st the bell among them all. O thou grim mischief makin chiel, that gars the notes of discord squeal, till humankind aft dance a reel in gore a shoe thick. Gie all the fays of Scotland's wheel a Taumand's toothache.
Portion of Leaves of Grass, just a little snippet.
Something has been dog-eared, but I don't know if
Yeah,
that's
well, a bunch of them. Here we go. All right. Okay. Maybe you even read this, but anyway. So from Leaves of Grass, and you may or may not have read that, but just a tiny little snippet. All architecture is what you do to it when you look upon it. Did you think it was in the white or gray stone, or the lines of the arches and cornices? All music is what awakens from you when you are reminded by the instruments. It is not the violins and the cornets. It is not the oboe, nor the beating drums, nor the notes of the baritone singer singing his sweet romanza, nor those of the men's chorus, nor those of the women's chorus. It is nearer and farther than they. Will the whole come back then? Can each see the signs of the best by a look in the looking glass? Is there nothing greater or more? Does all sit there with you and here with me? This is a little snippet.
That's just somewhere in
Piece of cloth and some strings. Make it white with a long tail, so that a child somewhere in Gaza, while looking heaven in the eye, awaiting his dad who left in a blaze, and bid no one farewell, not even his flesh, not even to himself, sees my kite you made, flying up above, and thinks for a moment, An angel is there, bringing back love. If I must die, let it bring hope. Let it be a tale.
Thank you. For constitutional government and democratic rights in England at a time when that was not welcome. So this is, I don't know, 1830, something like that. You have no enemies, you say? Alas, my friend, the boast is poor. He who is mingled in the fray of duty that the brave endure must have foes. If you are none, small is the work. If you have none, small is the work that you have done. You've hit no traitor on the hip. You've dashed no cup from perjured lip. You've never turned the wrong to right. You've been a coward in the fight.
Which I've decided you get to do one per book. It's called Method. Write down every thought as it arises, develops, passes its baton to the next, without fabrication or hypocrisy for 3 days, after which, Freud, quoting a minor German romantic, you will be a writer. Does the pencil change the mind's meandering, forcing focus, fabricating? Capture the calculus of association. Enter the art house or cineplex of thought. If auteur, then brooding. If big budget, then garish emotionalities, grand explosions, bodies somersaulting through air. Be a flaneur passing windows and winter trees. Include the hours when the inner talker is a bureaucrat at a metal desk, tallying the petty complaints of a day. Notice how often you repeat yourself. Believe you are finally admitting what's true.
Went to the Starry Plow while waiting. Hadn't been there in forever. You still going there Sundays?
Yes.
Performing?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the poem is called State U. U like university, State U. One classmate, old, 30 or 27, had been to war. The war was over. Intermission between this war and the next. The teacher asked him for his sources, but he didn't know there were stairs, that the library started on the 2nd floor. He'd wandered the lobby level, couldn't understand where the books were. What a thing to admit. Now he is starting to cry. The war still ringing in his ears and exploding behind his eyes. Soldier, though I do not know if you are still alive, let me say that I honor the wet flag of your shame spread before us. Flag you did not want to spread, but could not hide. Without permission, I have used you many times to stand closer to myself. Should I thank you for this?
You can get your SMD 2020 in its brown bag, and then a bottle of 1984.
I think that's
Exactly. It's like
either hand. No, Harvey Dowers is a poet. That's the other.
So what? Ken, you ready to go? Or
We're reading, everyone.
All right, focus.
I don't know what the name of this is. Write my name on my leg, Mama. Use the black permanent marker with the ink that doesn't bleed if it gets wet. The one that doesn't melt if it's exposed to heat. Write my name on my leg, Mama. Make the lines thick and clear. Add your special flourishes so I can take comfort in seeing my mama's handwriting when I go to sleep. Write my name on my leg, Mama, and on the legs of my sisters and brothers. This way we will belong together. This way we will be known as your children. Write my name on your leg, on my leg, Mama, and please write your name and Baba's name and your legs too, on your legs too, so we will be remembered as a family. Write my name on my leg, Mama. Don't add any numbers, like when I was born or the address of our home. I don't want the world to list me as a number. I have a name, and I am not a number. Write my name on my leg, Mama. When the bomb hits our house, when the walls crush our skulls and bones, our legs will tell our story, how there was nowhere for us to run.
What is that? Who is that?
I don't know the name. I think it's by Marwan Makhul.